Welcome to our latest van tour. If you don't know who we are, we're Sarah, and Alex is behind the camera right now, and we are Custom Crafted Vans. This is van build number 17, I believe. We'll have to double check those facts soon. But it is a 2021 170 Mercedes Sprinter 4x4 3500. And she's beautiful. I actually really like this color. I think it's the selenite gray or something like that. I don't know, every color of Mercedes is now called gray of some sort. And this is our beach house layout with the additional seat, so it can sleep for and seat for when you're riding in your van. So lots of fun upgrades on this one, lots of battle-worn batteries, Luminesce products, AC unit that's 12 volts, so come on in for the full tour. When you have a 4x4, it's very helpful to get yourself some running boards so that it's not quite as big of a step, especially because we do a lot of suspension upgrades in our vans. When you first enter the van, we've got this nice seating area up front with the extra bench seat. The two front seats do swivel around, and we have a table on a lagoon pedestal for sitting in the front, having your meals up here if you feel like it. This bench seat does convert into a secondary sleeping space, so it does fold flat to create a bed. And then we've got lots of storage up here, so upper cabinet above the bench seat, headliner shelf, which is great for storing all of your window covers. These are the custom straw foot covers, and then we also use Wonderful for the stock windows that come in the van. And you'll see this nice nifty blue light up in the front. That controls all the exterior lighting that we have on this van, which Alex will cover a little bit later in this video. Now, before we keep going, I do want to mention this is a new layout for us. It is like our beach house layout, but it again has the passenger seat in here to ride two more passengers. So this will be in our van layout guide, which is linked down below. That includes all of the floor plans for all of the different vans that we have built. So you'll find like 7 different floor plans, maybe 8 now, I don't even know, I've lost count, but all the information for that will be linked down below, and you get to also join our private community on Facebook where you can ask me and Alex questions directly. So hope to see you in the community. Now, because this is a 170 Sprinter, not the 170 Extended, everything is a little bit smaller than our previous van tour that included the bench seat. When you put in the bench seat, you have to allow for, I believe it's 55 inches for that to fold flat in the front. So in order to accommodate that, that meant our kitchen got a little bit smaller so we could keep this walkway really nice and not too narrow. So smaller kitchen, small but mighty. It has a nice deep stainless sink, a 65-liter fridge, storage under the sink, and then a massive drawer to pull out for storage. And then we have upper cabinets along the whole passenger side. Now, this client opted for only an upper cabinet on one side. That was what she wanted, but it would be really easy to add a second cabinet into this van on the driver's side. But you will see in this van, we only have it on the one side, which I think looks really nice, keeps it nice and bright and airy in the back. Now, another design feature in this van that was the client's request was just keeping it shiplap in the back, so we don't have a tile backsplash in this one. Typically we do, but we did a nice little backsplash just with her countertop material. This is solid surface Corian material and holds up great. A little bit more durable. We got a little dust on it. A little cleaning can't do. And one great thing is if you ever did scratch this material, you could buff it out. Unlike a butcher block, you'd have to reseal it, sand it, all that good stuff. Then right behind me is our wet bath. So this is our first time using the Laveo dry flush toilet. It essentially wraps it up in a little foil looking thing, and there's so many uses in it, and then you would pull the whole cartridge out and have to replace it. At least that's my understanding. I've never used it. But we have her dry flush toilet and the wet bath. We did a nice teak shower insert and custom stained it to match her stain color in the rest of the van, which is a very red cherry looking stain. Again, client request. And that's one thing to always keep in mind with our vans, is that we are designing these per the client's specification. So she picked the paint color, she picked the countertops, she picked her bathroom finishes, her stain color, all of that fun stuff. The flooring, clients get to choose when they work with us at Custom Crafted Vans. Per usual too, we have the Nautilus self-cleaning retractable shower door. This time, no stripes. Very different for us, I know. Again, this client did not want the stripes on it, so it is just the opaque version. And I don't think I'm missing anything in the shower. Now, when we come to the back, we have our usual table, bed, convertible sleeping space. We don't have any dresser here because, again, we are in the 170, so a little bit shorter wheelbase than having the extended with the extra bench seat. So not quite as much storage, but we do have a nice 72-inch size bed back here in the back. And this client wanted 2 lagoon mounts, so there are actually 2 tables. We took one out just for filming purposes, but there are 2 tables that are the same size for the rear area. And then we made our U-bench area bigger so that it's more of like a lounge, hang out on and work on your laptop kind of a space for her, because that's what she wants to do in this van. Another thing that's a little bit different in this van than you'll see in our other vans is we did these smaller bunk windows per the client's request. So typically we do the big picture windows. She wanted the smaller one, so kind of keeps it nice and cozy in the back. And again, only having the upper cabinet on one side just makes it feel a little bit more open back here, which is actually nice. And then we did the really nice slat wall feature, this time in a green color. Again, the client picked, but I think it brings in a really nice pop of color into this van and ties the kind of cushion cover with the cabinets and that color all together, and works actually really well. I actually like it a lot. I don't think I'm missing anything back here, so we will let Alex go into a lot of the specs, because we've got our 12-volt Dometic AC unit. We have lots of Battleborn in here, luminescence features, exterior lighting, so we'll jump into all of that.
This van is equipped with our standard exterior upgrade packages. So we have done the exterior truck bed treatment like you see here on the lower portion of the van. We also did it on the roof. It does have running boards, our typical luminescence package with the luminescence side ladder and roof rack with solar mounts. This van has 300 watts of solar to go along with 540 amp hours of Battleborn lithium battery. So that is awesome because she has plenty of power to power her 12-volt Dometic RTX 2000 air conditioner, which she can run without having to be plugged into shore power because it's 12 volt, runs right off of its battery bank, and it is inverter driven, and it has really cool features like an eco mode that don't drain your power bank. So you can really get a lot of use out of that 12 volt air conditioner. Now, we did a couple things new that we've never done on a van before. We did get rid of the spare tire underneath the van, and we added in an additional 21-gallon freshwater tank underneath in the spare tire carrier. And the reason that we did that is because this is a 3500 170. We were really restricted as far as how big of a freshwater tank we could put inside in our water compartment. So she has a 20-gallon over-the-wheel well freshwater tank inside, and additional 21 gallons for 41 gallons of fresh water total, where typically we're just using 33 gallons, so she's got a little bit extra, which is really cool. And because of that, we did relocate her spare tire to the rear door using the luminescence door mounted, hinge mounted spare tire carrier. One of the aspects we are always concerned about when it comes to upfitting a van is the performance. How is it going to drive after we add weight to it? So we do always recommend our clients do upgrades to the suspension system. With this one, it is a 4x4, so we did add the Falcon adjustable shocks to the front and the back, and we also beefed up the rear leaf spring. We replaced the leaf spring completely with a 5,400-pound leaf pack. So this thing, it's ready to be on the road, and handles and drives really well even with loaded tanks. We just drove it up here to Lucky Peak outside of Boise, and it handles really well both on the freeway and on even dirt roads. So we're going to test it a little bit more with that tomorrow. Additionally, this client was a little bit concerned about being able to see what was outside of her van at night, so we did mount one rigid light on every side of the van, which is controlled through her aux beam controller up in the front that Sarah showed you guys earlier. So she's got a small 10-inch light bar up the front, and then just some smaller rigid lights around the outside. So at night she's got plenty of visibility. She can turn on each of those lights and see what is around her wherever she's camping or staying.
Okay, now our favorite new segment is sit down and talk about what we liked most on this van, what our favorite features were. But before we do that, I just want to mention these are our custom window covers that I was saying before. These are the custom window covers that we have made that are magnetic. Essentially what we do, this was such a hit on Instagram, we put a magnetic strip on the back of the window frame before we put it in. And then you can easily slide your window frame in there and it just magnetizes to that strip on the back of the window. But we'll open it up for now.
It's true. It's actually just a metal strip you put on the back, and then the magnets are built into the window cover. But, yeah. So it's cute though.
Anyway, it's really nice because then it makes it completely black out. There's no gaps with the window. That was one of Alex's best inventions.
It's Custom Crafted Van's original right there.
It is.
I can't tell you how excited I am this van is done. Because it has been, as far as design time goes, I put a lot of design time into this van. Again, when you're building a custom van for a client and they want to fit in very specific things and do things differently, those are all challenges that I'm usually willing to accept. But I do tell clients no when something isn't going to work. But this one really turned out. And she had great design choices that I think have really all come together. Yeah.
No, it turned out definitely a little bit different style than we've ever done. We've never done something that is so red stain. This does remind me a little bit of my parents, not in a bad way, but my parents' kitchen had cabinets that looked like this. I'm sure there are others out there that
a lot of cherry lovers out there.
Yes, cherry cabinets, and that's what she likes is cherry wood. So we haven't actually incorporated that into a van yet, which has been kind of fun to do a little bit different of a style for a van. I absolutely love the color for her cabinets that she picked out. I think it just turned out really nice and really brought something to the van so that the whole thing wasn't white, because the countertops are white, the ceiling's white, the walls are white. Like, it was nice that she kind of broke that up with those colors. And then I actually really like her fabric, and just again having kind of a little bit of the color of the cabinet in there and then tying in with like her accent slat wall and the slats in the rear of the van. What's your favorite part of this van? Number one feature for you?
Gosh, I don't know. I really like the way her bathroom turned out using the Laveo dry flush toilet, and the way we incorporated the toilet box within the shower pan and then the teak insert. I feel like that all looks really, really well done, and kudos to our guys for executing that really well.
Yeah, one of the challenges with using a different style toilet like that is making sure that everything is waterproof around it, because it's not really something that you want to be taking in and out of your bathroom area. So I think that you guys waterproof that very nicely.
Let me run you through this. This is actually cool. So what I did, there's two separate 1-inch pieces of waterproof foam board on this back wall that the toilet is mounted to. We did one full floor to ceiling piece, waterproof the entire thing, all of the seams where it meets the toilet box, waterproof that whole thing. And then even put in her finish material up to the height of the toilet behind it. So when you pull the toilet out and you look in, you see the finished material. Then what I did is I scribed another piece of 1-inch foam around the edges of the toilet and the top of the toilet, cut that out, mounted that, waterproofed and seam sealed that everywhere, and then we did her final finished material, the Palisades vinyl wall tile on the walls, and glued all of that on, trimmed it and cut it to fit around the toilet. So the toilet is actually slid into the wall an inch, and all of that is completely waterproof so that it's like tucked in, it's not exposed and out.
Which was really nice, because that toilet kind of had like a big thing up top, and that would have had water sitting on it and getting behind it and all of that, and this prevents water from getting behind the toilet.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
No, and that's one thing that honestly I really pride ourselves on is our quality. We really think about every little detail and every little thing that goes into these vans and making sure that they're going to last for years to come and that someone wouldn't have issues leaking behind their toilet, because a lot of other builders out there will slap stuff together and you will have issues down the road. So I won't go on that spiel. But is that your favorite feature, is the toilet?
Well, now that you got me remembering how much time I put into that, it might be my favorite feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good looking van.
Yeah.
I dig it. I do also like just the one upper. This is not a full-time live-in van. That's not what this van is built for. It is more of a day use, short trips, probably more so driving it to get to where you're going to be and enjoying the drive or hanging out along the way versus like sleeping in this the majority of the time. So again, it's all about the intended use for what the client's going to be using it for.
Yes, as we mentioned earlier, this van doesn't have the upper cabin on this side, so storage is a little limited. I think a lot of the time she's going to drive this somewhere beautiful, pull up, park, and work in the back here, or read or whatever, and just kind of hang out in this van. I don't know how many really long distance trips she's going to take, other than she has to drive this van across the country on her way home. So
she does have to do that. But,
I think that's it though. It was a great van, turned out beautifully. I love this color van. I think also the color choices on the inside just all came together really nicely. Another beautiful van.
Another one done. That. And now that this one is done, we're like finishing up a bunch now. We got the new shop, we hired 3 employees, 1 part-time employee, and we have been working through the first vans that we had booked and really getting more of a gauge for our timeline, make sure that we can still maintain the quality that we expect. And we are excited to announce that we are opening up booking for 2023 right now. So if you are interested, there's going to be a link down below. There's going to be another link down below for our wait list if you want to join our wait list, or if you want to click the link and submit an inquiry form to us, so we can hear more about what it is that you're looking for in 2023. But yeah, we're going to be taking on a few more builds and excited to collaborate with more people on either semi-custom or full custom conversions, because that's the fun first step. What do you want?
I think that's it for now.
That is it.
Good job.